talking about scalping rates. What is that? And well, what is that?
Right. Scalping is a term used in the beverage industry for a long time. It describes the process of active ingredients in the beverages attaching to the packaging, because the packaging material could be hydrophobic, right? It lacks oil. So when you have oil-like ingredients, it may stuck to the liner, right? And then lose its potency in the liquid. So that process is called scalping.
Okay. Well, that's a good segue because we're going to talk about packaging next. So
Yes.
yeah, so maybe talk about some of the different liner types that are available and how they can sort of affect those scalping rates.
Great. Funny enough, I just published an article last Friday talking about can liner types. And yeah, the can liner is kind of a big issue for the whole industry. And we have 6 years ago in California, nobody's using can. Everybody's using glass because all the infusion technology are not stable in a can. And I think this is the first issue Vertosa have helped the industry solve. We were working with Ball, PPG, all the big can companies and liner companies. We test all their generations of liners, and we summarized, okay, and we improve our formula. We summarized, okay, what formula works in what liner. And so today, I think we can confidently make a 12 months stable beverages with a good emulsion in a good liner, a good combination. But at the same time, when the hemp beverages brands are going to the market in the very fast speed, right? They get what they can get, right? Which is understandable as a market. But sometimes that leads to a neglect of the quality of the liners. So we have seen issues that clients picked the wrong liners, and the wrong liners will lead to much higher potency scalping, right? And those are the continuous issues Vertosa is wanting to educate our clients.
Great. So now, did I hear correctly that this isn't so much an issue with glass?
Yes, you're right.
And so what are some of the advantages of using cans versus glass? I mean, if you don't have the issue with glass, why don't we see more brands using glass?
Right. I think it's the heaviness of the logistic, shipping, and the recyclability, right? And I think those are the two on the cost.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So in addition to scalping, one of the other things that you mentioned was oxygen ingress and kind of leading to that oxidation. So how is that a factor?
Interesting. Yeah. So like I said, oxygen is kind of the big enemy for cannabis beverages. Actually, I advocate for our industry to use beer as a benchmark, because when you make a beer, if you have high oxygen, the flavor will change dramatically in a very short time. So beer industry has perfected their practice on lower the DO, dissolved oxygen, during the production, right? So that's why what we advocate our co-packer of the cannabis beverages to follow the practice of beer. So imagine you have a packaging that has low oxygen to start with, right? But if the packaging somehow allows oxygen to come in from its seal or from the body or from anywhere, then it doesn't matter. You have a low DO to start. Dissolved oxygen will continue to climb up, and then the cannabinoids will be continuously to be oxidized, right? So that's where we see this potential issue, especially from PET bottles, because PET, the whole bottle, will allow oxygen coming in constantly. But not only PET, some glass bottles with chill-resistant cap, right? Or even some can with a special lids, right? May potentially ingress oxygen. So we are having some research collaboration with a lab right now to further look into this. This seems to be an easy concept to understand, but actually it's very complex to test, because you have to remove the oxygen, you have to control the environment. So this is nearly a year process right now with our testing partners. So stay tuned for this data.